if you guys could always just please, whether you're for it or against it, just always please remember to keep our soldiers, men and women, in your thoughts and prayers. In February, both my children will be there. Both my son and my daughter will both be in Afghanistan simultaneously. And you know what? They love what they do, and they do a great job at it. So I couldn't be more proud. And I share that with you because one of the things I always ask every day when I wake up is why? Why do I do what I do?
Because you love it.
I love it. I do. So I'm going to ask you, why do you do this? You don't have to answer me, but I want you to just spend a little bit of time in reflection. I just got back from Minnesota, where I spent 4 days with my coach. Remember when Sid was talking about earlier that you work with a coach, right? Well, you never, ever, 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 ever get to a point in your life where you know everything, and you never, ever, ever get to a point, I know he was just joking, where you don't make mistakes, because we are all human, and we do make mistakes. And we have to always focus on our personal growth, and we must always also focus on the growth of our what? Our business. And for me, I feel that if you're not centered and whole in here as a person, it's sometimes very, very difficult to put the energy out into the world to be able to do your business. So one of the things that we ask, and one of the things that we focus on here at District RIA, and it's our vision, is your personal growth and the growth and development of your business. Okay? You've got to be able to work on you. So right now, my coach that I'm working with is a life coach, a spiritual coach. And I am working with her on my personal growth so that, why? I can be centered. I love what Sid said earlier, to clean out my pipes, to get re-centered, to get refocused. So I'm going to ask you why. And write that on your paper real big. Everybody take a moment, just write that on your paper real big. Why? In parentheses with a question mark. And I want you to go back over the weekend, and this also tells you a lot about who you are. If you don't write it down, it tells you a lot about who you are. If you don't go back and review it over the weekend, it tells you a lot about who you are. Because are you willing to take action on the simplest thing about reflecting inward to see, why are you committed to doing this business? Why are you here today on a Saturday on your day off? Why? Anybody want to answer?
Family.
Family?
Training and more education.
Training and education. And guys, there's no right or wrong answer. I'm just curious. So now that's the high level. Okay, but now take it even one level deeper. Why do you want to invest in real estate? Why?
It's fun.
It's fun?
It is fun.
It's fun. It is fun. It is. You're absolutely right. Anybody else?
Residual income.
Residual passive income. Absolutely. Right? We want to make money.
Timing.
Time, freedom.
Timing is good for it.
Timing is good for it. Absolutely. Timing couldn't be better. Anybody else?
That's what wealthy people do.
That's what wealthy people do. You're absolutely 100% right. If you look back over history and look at Carnegie, I was just watching on the History Channel. I watch very little TV, but when I do, it's usually educational. And I was watching the history of the men that developed our country. Rockefeller, Carnegie. It was absolutely fascinating. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
Oh my God. The trials, the challenges, the failures that these men made, and yet still got up. How many people told them they couldn't build the first bridge? They couldn't do this. Financial bankruptcy, financial ruin, and they kept going, they kept going, and they kept going. And a lot of them aren't recognized until after, posthumously, after they have passed away. And so I sit there and I look at that, and I look at these people, 80 years ago, 75 years ago, 100 years ago, And I say, you know, why? Why am I doing this? Do you think real estate is fun every single day?
No.
Do you think there's challenges? Do you think there's failures? But you're only a failure if you do what?
Quit.
You stay down, right? John Maxwell wrote one of the greatest books, Failing Forward, right? You brush your knees off, you get back up. That's how we learn by failing, is we learn through our mistakes. So I have immersed myself back into coaching for my spiritual growth and my development to be able to be aware and present in what it is that I'm doing. And I sit there and say, why? Why do I spend the time and the energy to do this? Okay? It's because we want more. We want more time, we want more money, we want more freedom. Sid says we can't take it with us. So why do we create all of that if we can't take it with us? Why not just live a very simple life down in Key West, working as a cashier in a donut shop, being able to go surfing every day? Why not? Why do you do it?
Well, I mean, I just have a passion to help people. That's my passion. That's my belief in terms of where I am now, is to help as many people as I possibly can before I die.
And I share a lot of that. That is also my why right there. My children. My son and my daughter and my husband are my legacy. Maybe they don't want to invest in real estate. In fact, right now, honestly, they could care less about real estate. They are so tired of hearing about real estate. But I'm hopeful at some point they will start to understand investing. You know, they have pensions and IRAs, and they're growing their lives and their businesses and learning about our country and serving. But I taught my children to serve. I serve sellers, buyers, my residents. We serve their needs. We serve the challenges. I'm not out there looking to see how much money I'm going to make every day. I'm looking to serve and make a profound difference in the life of another human being. And by being means being present and aware in that space. If that is how you do real estate, you will succeed. But if you are in a space of how much money am I going to make, chances are you won't, because what you put out is what? It's what you get back. So why? So I want you guys to think about that over the weekend. Why are you investing in real estate? I don't know why. But you need to know why. Your why can change, can it not? Absolutely. Because you need to know every day when you wake up, especially in the midst of a very, very challenging day. And don't think for 1 minute you're not going to have those days. That you can always be in the space of being reminded why you do what you do. So let's talk about the power of being an investor agent. What are some ahas that you walked away with or took away this morning about some of the benefits that Sid and Anisha shared about some of the tools that they have that other brokers don't have? Anybody?
The access to that.
Access to HUD Home Store, right? What about the ability to have these? Do you think that's a really powerful tool to be able to have these keys? We call these, the keys to the city. And not anybody can have these. We have these available for you, okay? So let's get into this. So District RIA is a real estate investment association. That's what Andre and I founded. Our goal, our mission, our vision is to empower you through your personal growth and to help you work on the development and growth of your business, your real estate investment business. How do we do that? By providing you with cutting-edge knowledge and education. Sid said that if you want to have this as a business, you can start out as a single individual, but what do you need to have around you in order to truly succeed? People, a team, right? Andre and I know in order for us to provide you with what it is that we know you need to succeed in your business, we needed to align ourselves with a team, with other organizations that can bring to you what it is that we know you need. Therefore, we bring in Next Stage, and they are the next age of a brokerage. Sid said he's very passionate and he's very motivated. He thinks outside of the box. When everybody is swimming over here, he's the shark in the uncharted waters, tapping into brokerages that no one knows about yet. Why? Because they're investor friendly to us and provide us the tools and resources that we need to excel as investors. He also brings about his knowledge as a general contractor, which is huge, especially as an investor. We provide, without a shadow of a doubt, the most extensive investor agent training that we know of right now in the entire country. We do not know of another organization yet that has created this type of an investor agent program. We are still young, we're still learning, and we're still growing. But we are all about providing the education. We're all about providing you the tools and the resources that you need to be able to get to the next level. How to create your power team. How to locate the right deals. How to analyze these deals for profit. How to fund the deals. Where do we get the money? Where do you get the money? You know, he talked about transactional funding. Well, I had no idea what transactional funding is. It's also called dough for a day. It's expensive. It's like hard money. But it's transactional money that you can get for one day. Why? To close the deal on a simultaneous or double close. And sometimes you may have to do that. You don't have to know everything in this business. We will take you there on the journey and eliminate that learning curve, as I say over and over again. Don't worry about the money. If the good deal is there, guess what? The money will come. Correct?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever not had sleepless nights worrying about where the money's going to come from?
No. Because once you got a right deal and the right investor with the cash, keep in mind that the investor's motive is to do what? Not to sit on $1 million cash, but it's to move his money. To turn that million into 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. So investors that have cash, they will invest in the right deal. So if you get the deal, you'll get the money. Because investors want to keep moving their cash. So the money will come.
If someone told you that they had $1 million, truly, for you to tap into to go buy real estate, how many of you would raise your hand that you want that? If they told you that it wasn't contingent upon your credit score, your financial backing, how much money you make a month, how many of you would still go after it? Okay? If it was readily available to you to get the deals done, and you could do everything here locally, how many of you would be interested in that? All right, now, everybody raise their hands to that. What if I told you that that money was going to cost 12%? How many of you that raised your hands would still raise your hands?
Per year?
12%.
How many points?
No points.
Oh, yes.
No
Oh,
points.
yeah, oh, yeah,
12%.
That's it. No points.
Well, depends on the deal.
Okay, so everybody said they'd be willing to pay 12%. So in order to know that you can do that, the deal's got to work, obviously, right? You've got to be able to have a margin, okay? Relationships in this business are everything. We've said that over and over again. It's the people that you know. It doesn't happen overnight. I was just introduced to a $10 million line that will be available to me on January the 1st at 12%. And when you start adding up how much it's going to cost to carry that money, it is expensive. There is no doubt. It's very, very expensive. But the reason I share that with you is you never know who's sitting next to you. You never know what opportunities lie ahead of you. Don't worry about how to fund your deals. The money will come. And when it shows up, it may not always be the way you want it. I don't want to spend 12%. I don't. Who does? But if that is going to get me what I want in order for me to get the deal done, why not? Right? You increase the value of the asset and you refi it out. Or whatever. Okay? So don't, so many people say, but Tammy, where am I going to get the money? Sid, how do I get the money? I've got this really, really great deal. Step away from that. We want you to focus on finding the good deals. And after we find the really good deals, then we will go seek out the money. But that's a caveat because Sid said you better have your money in place if you're going to go for HUD. There are certain things that you are going to have to have lined up if you're going for a specific exit strategy, either a short sale or wholesale or a HUD home or whatever. If you're going to go for the HUD homes, yeah, you better have something sitting there to back you up. Now, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
That $50,000 or $100,000 that you're going to need to take this property out, is that your own money?
No.
What? No?
No.
Why?
Well, the thing about real estate is it's all about leverage, right? So they've been teaching that for 100 years. So real estate is all about leverage. So if you have good credibility, you have good character, you have good property, good asset, and you know you can leverage other people's money to fund your deals. It's all how you put it together, present it.
All right, so write this down. OPM. God bless you. OPT. OPM is other people's money, which we all hear about. One of the things I had a very difficult time with, and a lot of real estate investors do because we're right-brained, creative individuals, and we have a tendency to be control freaks, right? Yeah. So, is OPT, which is other people's time. Leveraging other people's time to get done what you need to get done. All right? So, the most important thing is for you as an investor is to do what?
Find deals.
Find the deals, right? Why worry about anything else? Find the deals. Charlie.
Yeah.
Remember I talked about the success story early before Charlie got here? Charlie's here. And Charlie has been a member of District RIA for over a year now, a new investor. He did give me permission to share this, by the way. And he's been looking for the right deal for quite some time. Have there been some very discouraging months thinking that you're not doing it right and you can't find the deals, and why is everybody else in the room getting deals and you're not?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you kept focused, and then all of a sudden, coincidentally and beautifully, it happened at one of our meetings, somebody was sitting behind you or in front of you?
Behind you.
Behind you. They struck up a conversation. Next thing you know, now they're in this conversation about this DC property for $60,000. What was the ARV? Or is?
200.
200. Guy was asking 60,000. Probate.
Well, he's asking 80, really.
Asking 80. Okay. How many bedrooms and baths?
3 and 1.5.
And you're gonna take it to a
4 and 2.5.
4 and a 2.5. What did you settle on it for?
60,000.
60,000.
He's gonna take back 90% paper.
Hold on, guys. This stuff does not work in real estate. It doesn't work here in my backyard. Sellers do not hold paper at 90%. It doesn't work. Anybody ever have those stories ringing constantly in your head? There's no way I'm ever going to find a deal like that. He just did it.
Can you explain that whole paper thing?
Yes. When did you go to settlement?
Thursday.
Thursday. How much money did you have to put down?
My total investment, including closing costs, was $8,000 and some odd dollars.
8,000.
Yeah, clap for that.
And
Clap for that.
I mean,
Yes, clap for that.
in DC, the nation's capital, a house that he's gonna take to a 4, 2.5, $8,000. Now Charlie chose to use his money, but Tammy, I don't have 8,000. So I guess I can't do the deal. I don't have it. Do you think somebody would lend you $8,000 if you asked at 10, 12, 15% and a couple points for you to get the deal done? Or what if they said they want to partner with you 50-50? Would you still be willing to go do that?
Oh, yeah.
But see, for an entire year, folks, Charlie thought this business wasn't working. For an entire year, though, he invested in his education. He invested in coaching. He invested in getting more and more knowledge. And when he did that, the more he put out into the universe, the more the universe came back to him. And he got one of the sweetest deals I have heard of in a very long time. Right, Lacey?
Yep.
Sweet. Big time investors were knocking on his door trying to not take it away from him, wanting to buy it from him. And now he's going to rehab it. And what's your exit strategy?
I'm gonna sell it.
You're going to flip it, rehab it, and flip it.
Right.
Congratulations. Guys, let's give him another huge round of applause. It does work. So, explain when a seller holds paper. Was that the question?
Yes.
Okay. When a seller or a property owner owns a home free and clear, they have no mortgage on it, okay? We call the mortgage itself paper, a note, okay? This is the paper. And one of the greatest ways as an investor, and one of the first questions that I always ask is, Mr. Seller, would you be willing to carry back, those are the industry coined words, carry back a first mortgage or a second mortgage? Would you be willing to hold the paper, hold the note, or you may hear it called a take back? Take back. What that means is that the seller is Sid and I'm the buyer. He owns a house free and clear, right? And he's got his mortgage on it, but I want the property, but it needs a lot of work. And I explained to him that I would like to buy this property from him. Would he be willing to hold the mortgage on this paper, hold the mortgage on this property? Okay, so now he is the bank. And I make my payments directly to who? To him. Okay? All of that is negotiable. All of those terms are totally negotiable. Now, the terms are negotiable, but there's a benefit to you as the buyer because now you don't have to do what? You don't have to go get a loan. Okay? Is there value in that for you?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, would you be willing to pay a little bit more money for the property if he's asking 150? Let's just say 100. But he's willing to hold the paper. And he said he wants 115. Would you be willing to give him 115 if he would hold the paper? Absolutely. Because the price at that point doesn't matter when you get terms like that. Charlie just got into a deal for $8,000 that on the back end is going to bring in $200. Seller financing is also how you'll hear it. Okay, very, very, very important. It's a question that we ask all the time. Does that make sense? Did that answer your question?
Yes.
What is your name?
Hakeem.
Hakeem.
Yes.
Did that? Okay.
Yes, it did.
Yes,
And you're
Jeremy.
paying back just principal or principal and interest on?
It's all negotiable.
Or what did you write?
It's all negotiable.
I've got two things going. The purchase of the house back to the seller, I'm paying 8% and given monthly payments of $360, I believe.
How much?
$360 a month.
So this deal is costing you $360 a month.
Right, and then on top of that, I've got another investor at $40,000 to fund most of the rehab, and I'm going to pay him 10%, but I'm trying to get him without monthly payments, so I have no cash flow issues.
So this really does work.
Yeah, wow.
Guys, did you just hear those terms? All right, let's go back over that again. He's paying the seller how much? 8%. The going rate is 12 to 15. His monthly payment to have an investment opportunity is $360 a month. Anybody pay more than that in a car payment? Okay? Literally, this is like serious financial freedom. Okay? Then on top of that, he needed $40,000 to do the rehab, give or take, right?
Yeah,
But I know for a fact a month ago you had no clue where that money was coming from.
right.
That's correct. He was pretty shaken. He was really worried about it. When the deal came, the money showed up, did it not?
Yeah, I happen to know this guy, and I'd done him some favors in the past, so I just mentioned what I was doing, and basically said, oh, what the next step I've got to do is I got to go out for looking for money. So I said I'm gonna go to the banks and try to see if they want to do it, or maybe if I'm lucky enough, I could find somebody else who like to fund the deal. This guy's a doctor, you know, at Johns Hopkins, so I knew he had money, but I didn't really want to. I wanted to let him say, well, can I help you?
So
And-
it was in his what? The relationship he had with this person, the way he presented it. He asked for what he wanted and he got it. How much money out of your own physical pocket do you have into this deal?
3,000 and change.
Amazing. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. It's extraordinary. And I'm calling him out because I want to, start bringing him out of his shell. I want him to be so proud about what he's doing that he gets up and talks about it, because the more you talk about success, what happens? More success happens, right? So, guys, talk to Charlie. This is what it's all about, okay? These are all of the things that we help you do, but it does take time sometimes. How to buy right. We just went over that. He also had the choice to wholesale it. He had people approaching him, okay? But it's not right or wrong about what you choose to do, because you have so many options, which is what makes this business so freaking beautiful. There's no one size fits all. He could have done a joint venture with someone. He could have done a partnership with someone. He could have hired Lacey, because he works a full-time career now. Charlie does. And many of you are thinking, okay, well, if I work full-time, how would I do this, right? Oh, okay, well, you figure it out. We find the solution. Lacey literally could have offered to be what is called a PMP, a professional project,
PPM.
professional, I had the
Professional
acronyms right.
project manager.
Professional project manager. He could have managed the whole entire thing, been there every day to watch the rehabbers, to make sure that Charlie's deal gets done. So I love it when people say, oh, well, I work full time, I can't do this. No excuses, folks. Yes, you can. Ask us and we will help you get there. Fair enough? What about property management of it? Well, he already said he's going to flip it, but what about if he wanted to keep it? What about if he knew nothing about being a landlord or property owner? Do you think maybe Sid, Anisha, Clint, Andre, me, Vicky, do you think some of us would be able to help you figure out how to deal with the property management aspect of it? Yeah, absolutely. Hiring the contractors and how to avoid the pitfalls. Purchase price, cost of the rehab, total cost to the investor, selling price, holding costs, 6% investor agent commission. We talked about the oops money. You've got to understand what we call true numbers, not what we call pro forma. Pro forma is projected, what it could be. So you may hear residential and commercial, it only needs $4,950 in repair work. Pro forma, projected. Low or high, it's still projected. This property will be worth $300,000 after it's renovated. You come to find out that it's only worth $199 after it's renovated. So is the deal still gonna be a good deal for you? I'm gonna help you understand how to do true numbers, because you make your money when? When you buy. When you buy it right. In-field, hands-on training. Guys, this is how I learn. I am left-handed, I am right-brained. I quit high school in the 10th grade. I do not have a GED, I do not have a college education, and I